Hi, my name is Kurt Feldspar, and I'm a geologist, and I'm going to teach you about sedimentary rocks. There are three types of sedimentary rocks: clastic, biochemical, and chemical. Clastic sedimentary rocks are formed from the weathering of other rocks into small rock fragments called clasts. The clasts are then cemented together and become larger rocks. Clasts are commonly individual grains of minerals such as quartz, feldspar, clay, and mica. However, they can be any type of mineral and made of multiple minerals. Clasts are subdivided according to particle size, most commonly measured with the Udden-Wentworth grain size scale. The scale divides sediments into three main groups. If the grains are 2 millimeters or larger, then they are classified as gravel. If they're 2 millimeters to 1/16th of a millimeter, then they're classified as sand. If they are smaller than 1/16th of a millimeter, they're classified as mud. Mud is further divided into two groups: shale and clay. Some examples of clastic sedimentary rocks are sandstone, conglomerates, and shale. Sandstone is made mainly of silicate grains like quartz and feldspar because they're very resistant to weathering. Conglomerate is made of smaller grain sediments like sand, silt, and clay, and are usually cemented together by minerals like calcium carbonate, iron oxide, or silica. Shale is formed from a mud made of clay minerals and fragments of other minerals such as quartz and calcite. Biochemical sedimentary rocks are created when organisms build their tissues or shales using materials dissolved in air or water. Some examples of biochemical sedimentary rocks are limestone, coal, and my favorite, chert. Most types of limestone are formed from the skeletons of organisms like corals and mollusks. They leave behind their shells, and the shells decay in the layers of calcium that then precipitate in the limestone. Coal is formed from dead plants and animals that are made out of carbon. And chert is formed from deposits of siliceous skeletons of microscopic organisms. And finally, chemical sedimentary rocks form when minerals in a solution become supersaturated and then precipitate, causing rocks to form. Some examples of chemical sedimentary rocks are barite, halite, sylvite, and gypsum. Barite forms in hot underground water, usually near lead and zinc deposits. Halite forms from the evaporation of salty seawater or lake water. Sylvite forms very similar to halite and is one of the last minerals to precipitate, so it can only be found in very dry areas. Gypsum deposits form from lake water, cedar, hot springs, and volcano vapors. Hope you learned a lot about sedimentary rocks, and see you next time.